how many great receivers are going to come out of this damn Jaguars offense.
I think if you were to kind of, ask the, more casual fantasy football fan, they would say DJ Chark was a big time disappointment.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
The fact that his second year in the league, had 1,008 yards, and then, his third year in the league. Now, granted, obviously injuries did play part of that to a degree, but 706 yards. So we're seeing, a 30% reduction in total yardage there. And just, he caught 53 of his 93 balls thrown his way for a paltry 57% catch rate. It was an underwhelming season, certainly for DJ Chark. I thought a lot of folks were expecting kind of that third year wide receiver leap, and he didn't take it.
I do think that DJ Chark was not very good last year. On an individual basis in reception, he was still pretty good on deep routes, all right scores on the post and the dig, mostly thrived on those in-breaking routes, slants, curls, digs, like those were his best scores. His overall success rates, though, were very low. 21st percentile against man coverage, 24th against zone, 46th against press. But I will say this. I mean, if you had DJ Chark like in fantasy last year, banged up all year too, potentially playing hurt, I know that people were very disappointed in his results from last year, but at the same time, right, his 2019 results were very good. 69% against man coverage, 68.7% against press coverage. I wasn't willing to go out based on his 2019 and say this is a locked-in number one receiver, but like a legit good starter, especially a guy who thrives in the deep areas of the field. His results from 2019, he was only below the NFL average on one route, and that was just the post route, which he only ran 8.8% of his charted routes. His 2020, not so great. 2019 was promising. I think the question now for us, and I'm curious on your opinion about this, it's like, where does he slide in now? Because he's with a new coaching staff. He's with a new quarterback. Theoretically, this is a massive, massive quarterback upgrade. I mean, not theoretically, it is, right? Like Trevor Lawrence is going to be that guy.
Right, yeah.
But
yeah.
With a coaching staff and a decision maker, Trent Baalke, that has no investment in the player, like he's the pick from the previous regime. So is Laviska Shenault. So is your guy Marvin Jones. I don't know. These guys right now are tough for me to sort through. I'm not sitting here convinced that oh yeah, DJ Chark is a future number one receiver. I'm not willing to write him off completely based on a bad 2020 reception perception because his 2019 was good.
But if I had to stake a claim, I think the folks are right. I think the general populace is right. I think DJ Chark is your guy. I mean, again, you talk about athletic profile, 6'4", 200 pounds. He certainly, I tell you what, he certainly looks the part. you know what I mean? And Matt, we have seen this before, right? All we have to do is look back to last year and go up north and look at Buffalo. They go from a heavy defensive forward, ground and pound based offense to then what? All of a sudden, Brian Daboll is like, all right, you know what? We're going to spread them all out. I'm not even saying Trevor Lawrence is there with Josh Allen because he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's there yet.
Not yet.
But certainly the draft stock and the profile for Lawrence is there. And I'll say this, man, the wide receivers there in Jacksonville as a collection, as a unit, is on par. I won't say better, but on par with the unit that they had there in Buffalo last year. Like you look at these three, and we talked about, like you said, we talked about this a few weeks ago. They have a damn basketball team out there with Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Laviska Shenault. It's like these are layup throws all over the place for Trevor Lawrence, and we know Urban Meyer's going to instill. It's not going to be drop back, guys. Okay, it's going to be shotgun. We're going to spread them out, and we're just going to fire this ball around. I mean, Urban Meyer is the man who basically brought spread to a high level collegiate, powerhouse programs. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, that's a big reason why we're seeing a lot more spread in the NFL too. So Urban Meyer certainly is going to spread that ball around. And he's got the right trigger man in Trevor Lawrence, and he's got three good wide receivers to get this going. I've been screaming to the heavens that I think Jacksonville pass catchers, all of them, are undervalued. And I think in
Yeah.
particular, I think DJ Chark is undervalued. And I think he presents, to me anyways, the highest upside.
The Jaguars,
doubt.
I don't think any of these guys are going to be elite receivers this year, or probably like none of them are going to be Diggs level at any point in their career. But to James's point, like another reason why this could be a Buffalo type situation where we're talking about a receiver based offense, you know, they don't have a tight end. Like Timmy Tebow, he's going to make the roster and he's going to catch weird touchdown at some point. Like prepare your bodies for that. That's happening.
Right.
He's making this team. It's going to happen. Get used to it. But they don't have a tight end. I think these three receivers complement each other really well, as DJ Chark as your vertical outside burner, Marvin Jones, that classic competent number 2 receiver, and Laviska Shenault, as I said, let's throw him inside. Let's use him in contested situations and after the catch, because he can be a beast there. I'm drafting all of these guys at their current range. I think they're appropriately valued.
In redraft or best ball, it doesn't matter. I think all these guys are highly undervalued. And come draft season, I don't know. I'm finding myself, as I do more of these best ball drafts too, I'm just finding myself gravitating to some of these Jaguar players, especially a little bit later on in the draft.